in each moment, holding yourself, grounding yourself, even just saying, hey, I need to just have a moment. I'll come back and talk to you in a second, and go and take 3 deep breaths before you return talking to somebody, so you can ground yourself and hold yourself differently. Like, that is a part of emotional intelligence.
Welcome to season 1 of Beyond the Human. Remember who you are. I'm your host, Hazel Ray, singer-songwriter, experiencer, and messenger for those walking the edge of remembrance just like me. This is not a podcast to convince you of anything. Really, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a transmission, a call to the ones waking up, the ones remembering, the starseeds, the sensitives, the truth seekers, bridging science and spirit. If you're listening to this, you are ready. So let's remember together. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Human. I'm your host, Hazel Ray, and I have a guest. Yay. First time ever. This is Laura, and she is the founder and owner of Sovereign Energetics, and we're going to talk a lot about what she's doing with the world and how she's bringing some new information and techniques and things to help people. So the first question I want to ask you, Laura, is who are you?
Who am I? That's a very loaded question, Hazel Ray. Well, I'm Laura. I'm a mama, and I have been on a journey my whole life, really. So everything that I do now in Sovereign Energetics is a mashup and a collaboration of everything that I've ever learnt across working in corporate, in wellness industry, my own personal life experiences. Being a young mum, I got pregnant at 19, had her at 20. So yeah, it's who am I? A lot of things.
Yeah. And I suppose then when we first met, you were more in the Reiki space and doing sort of breath work and those sorts of things. We actually met at a group gathering called Cold and Conscious, where we did meditation, we did ice bathing, and she became my home. So what really first drew you to Reiki? Because my personal experience was when I was about 18, I was really struggling with, seeing things and not sleeping and scared of the dark. And so my mum took me to a Reiki healer. Yeah. And I would probably go there quite consistently, and I would get the same Reiki healer to do clearings on my house and those sort of things. But at the time, now being like the neuroscientist science person, I never really brought it all together. And I suppose what today I want to do for the audience is to try and bring some of that science into the Reiki understanding, and then I obviously then elaborate on what Sovereign Energetics brings to that space and how it sort of, I suppose, intermingles with all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So bring us to the story of what brought you to Reiki.
Well, I grew up doing meditation and yoga with my dad in primary school. So I was introduced to the world of, I would say, I call it connecting to yourself rather than spirituality. But because spirituality can be, it's such a loaded thing, and it's different, something different for everybody. But for me, it was about coming in and connecting to myself through the meditation and the yoga with Dad.
I didn't even know that. I had no idea. So your dad was really spiritual.
Dad worked corporate, like deep in corporate in Melbourne in the big smoke. Yeah. And we lived in a little town, it's not so little anymore, called Lara, near the Yuyangs. And I lived on 5 acres. We had heaps of animals. I was one of 4 kids, now one of 6. But back then I really felt, because there was 4 of us, Mum poured her heart and soul into every single one of us. But I, being a middle child, I was the second eldest out of 4. I kind of felt like, I don't know, and this was not my mum, because Mum is amazing. She did the best she could. But at that time I was feeling a bit like, what about me? Yeah. Yeah. And so I would get up before school and do yoga and meditation with Dad. And at a young age, I learned how to essentially go within myself to move through anything that I was feeling or experiencing, so I didn't have to rely on anybody else. But now as an adult, I've learned, you have to we're a community. The community is where it's at, and it's a balance of going within and reaching out for help. And that's been a big thing of mine, is not being able to reach out for help. But back then, before yoga was blown out, like Dad used to get looked upon like a bit of a weirdo and things like that, but he was also deep in corporate, and I feel like...
Do you think it helped with his stress?
Big time it would have. And also having 4 kids, like, wild. My parents did like amazing bringing 4 kids up at that time. But yeah, I feel like because I grew up with it, I kind of in my teenage years lost it a little bit. And then I got pregnant at 19 and had my daughter at 20, and it's like she literally opened up the portal again. And literally opened up the portal. Like, it was like something just hit me when I used to not believe in the saying bundle of joy. I used to think that, I'm like, that's such a corny thing to say, but as soon as I saw her as a young 20-year-old, I was like, oh, like I actually felt it in my body, and I was like, there's more to life. And that's when I started to get into offering like card readings, like intuitive card readings, intuitive guidance from 20.
Yeah, right.
Intuitive card readings. But the thing is, I was actually reading the person's energy more than the cards. I was just having conversations and just feeling into their energy, and I have a strong inner knowing, so it's just like messages would just come through and I would just regurgitate them in a grounded, conscious way, even back then. And then I started to offer healings but didn't realize what I was doing, and then someone said it was Reiki, and I was like, but so it wasn't until 2013 I actually did a Reiki course. And I was literally that person on the edge of my seat being like, pick me, pick me, pick me, like, because I was so eager. But also I was already, it's like I already knew it. And that's what I teach my students when I teach Reiki, is that it's literally just a remembering of what your soul already knows. But yeah, I feel like, to answer your question, having Indy open up that portal is giving birth to my child. And
that sort of brought you back into
it brought me back into myself.
Just for the listeners that would know nothing about Reiki, when you said you did the Reiki course, what are you actually learning? What are you learning to tap into? What is Reiki?
It means universal life force energy.
Yep.
So you can even interpret that into Reiki is your soul and your essence of self. But it's also a way of life and connecting with the life force energy around us, like your life force energy. I'm life force energy. This is life force energy. That is life force energy. Everything is energy, as you know. So Reiki is essentially teaching us how to work with our energetic bodies, how we can ground in that, how we can essentially humble out life from going within and doing the inner work. But I teach offering, hang on a minute, in Reiki 1 we do a silent meditation, and that silent meditation is all about tuning out exterior sounds and going within. But the trick is, and this is something that I feel is really important for people who are just learning meditation or they think that they can't meditate. The whole thing is about training your third eye muscle to, if you're thinking about the supermarket, or you got to go do this for your kids, or you got to go do that, or I've got to go to the gym after I do this meditation, or whatever that is, that's okay. And a lot of people believe that meditating, you have to be in complete silence, you have to completely switch off. But the whole point is the training of coming back to yourself. So acknowledge those thoughts and those thought patterns that are dropping in, but then release them and then come back in and be like, okay, thank you for that distraction. I'm coming back within. And if that's all you do through a meditation, then that's the practice.
I think people get stuck there because I remember when I first started, the monkey mind would just go and go and go and go. And I know Joe Dispenza talks about this, about the body wanting to habituate back to what it's always done. So, for example, if you were to drink coffee at 8 o'clock every morning and you were like, I'm going to start meditating at 7:50 for half an hour. When 8 o'clock comes, your body is actually already programmed to be wanting to crave the caffeine, and then the way that the body automatically responds to that. So if you think that you're going to change it one day, just go, oh yeah, I'm going to start meditating at 7:50, your body's programmed in the past.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have trouble in that moment trying to settle your mind down, settle the body down.
Especially if you've had coffee.
Well, if you had, no, it's before the coffee is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then,
but some people have the coffee first.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah, you're probably working against yourself there. But that's the problem, is that they think that they try it once and then the brain doesn't stop. But it's a muscle. The more you do it, the quicker it is to be quiet. And I think there was an analogy used for me. It's like shaking up muddy water, and then you have to wait for the stillness. So let the sediment has to fall, and all the sediment is all the thoughts. Yeah. And eventually they will settle. And then that's where samadhi can potentially be reached, which is, just complete bliss of nothingness, of not knowing necessarily there's no ego, there's no identity, there's just existence, which is, I believe, where we are when we're not here anymore. Yeah. Was there a particular teacher that shaped the path for you for Reiki and your energetic work?
I believe I have been my teacher. I've had to go inward, and I've had quite a lonely life in that sense. But I'm learning to reach out more, and to, my kids are my biggest teachers. And the other people that come into my life through life experiences are big teachers of mine too, coming out of domestic violence and things like that. They're my big teachers rather than well-known people out in the world.
Because here's the thing. If you go find a guru, or you find someone who has a podcast like me, it's a real trap for you to go and listen to someone and then take everything that they say as truth. It's even to come and learn from you, and I'm not just saying taking this away from you, but this is everyone. Like, you go on, if you go to learn something, it's like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That's because this is one of the things that I share when I'm performing, is that no one knows the truth.
Exactly.
All religions are pointing to the same thing.
Exactly.
All pointing to a part of the elephant, my analogy, and including science. Yep. And so I even go out and say to everyone, it's like, have you ever seen an atom? Have you ever seen an atom? Like, no one's ever seen them, but we all believe that this is like the truth. Yeah. So, you will teach something, and another person will teach yoga, and another person will teach, psychotherapy. Yeah. But my biggest thing for everyone on this healing journey is that don't give your power away, which is what I love about kind of your journey, is that you've actually never gone, I'm going to give my power away and believe everything that this person teaches me, or this person there's only one way to meditate, there's only one, and then apparently there's levels of meditation. It's like, okay, whoa, let's just make it a little bit more simple here. Yeah. And what do I feel?
That's what sovereign energetics is all about, is coming back to your sovereignty. Yeah.
And stop giving the power away.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing, I remember when I went through like my dark nights of the soul, and I went through all that darkness, and I had a healer, and she was known as a dark healer. And so yes, I'm giving my money and my energy and my power away to someone to continue to heal me, until I was like, I need to be able to do this for myself, because then when things would happen, I'd have fear again. Yeah. Whereas when we start to make people realize that everyone's psychic, everyone's a medium, everyone can, connect to the energy, the life force energy. Yeah. Chinese medicine teach about the same thing. They just got different words for the same thing. Then we all start to realize that we're way more powerful than we thought.
Exactly. And this is why I don't like calling myself a coach, because a coach can be, and each to their own. Yes. But a coach can be perceived as someone that tells someone how to live their life or whatever. But I call myself a guide. I walk along beside the person. And I've actually just launched my new thing coming up. It's called Guided. It's a 7-week. It's a 7-week immersion for people that are already leaders, that are already teachers, that hold space for their friends. It could be anything from corporate to, like I just said, friendships.
Well, now you've touched on it.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested in looking into it, like, where do they find it? What's it like? What are they going to get out of it?
I've got a whole page on my sovereignenergetics.com website, and I literally will break down how to hold space safely, because there's a lot of fluff out there. Again, each to their own. There's a lot of fluff out there, and I just feel like it's helping people come back to their sovereign selves. I'm not going to tell them how to be. I'm just going to help pull out things out of them to guide themselves on their journey to support themselves and the people that they support from a more grounded, non-egotistical way. And that's something that's in my other online course, The Courage Code, is I go through the stages of evolution that I've noticed over the last 18 years. And that is like what you were talking about with, you know, trusting in a guru or whatever. Some of us have to go through that in order to shift through that stage of bypassing. And that's such a crucial stage, because when you realize this guru, or people put people on pedestals, or God, see that they're godlike. And people have put me on a pedestal so many times, and I'm like, kick me off. I don't want to be on your pedestal. Stop. Like, just stop. Even in relationships, not just me in my community. But yeah, I just feel like we all are equal beings energetically, and people need to go through those stages of evolution, and it's not linear. You can go back to them. You can flick through all the different stages, but yeah, I've noticed big patterns in stages
hard
of
though,
evolution,
right? Because
of self,
society, if you can just let me go off on a tangent for a second.
Go.
Society, you know, we've created idols. Like, ever since I was a kid, you know, there's famous people, you know, we all look up to them, and then they're the ones making all the money, and then the money gives power. And so then even in a day-to-day thing like this, or, you know, me performing on stage, and then, you know, people coming to talk to me after, I'm like, why do we do that? Like, why do we feel the need to put someone on a pedestal in the first place? That's
kind of, and sorry if anyone's religious, but that's coming back to religion, is putting someone else on a pedestal and seeking outside of ourselves without going within. And it's like
giving our power away again. Can you fix this? Instead of going, I'm in my life right now, and every choice I've made up to this point is the reason why I'm in this spot. And yes, we can be victims of situations and things that happen, but then we're responsible on how we adapt and respond to that stimulus, that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that gets really lost on people, and we've been I think religion, like you said, if I was just to look at like Christianity and Catholicism, and just to name one, is that you're giving that power away, asking for someone to fix it, and then we feel victim to the things that happen to us. And like I said, I think there's a place for moving through the things that have happened, but it doesn't define who you are or how your life has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you feel that sovereign energetics works into that?
Yeah, definitely. With sovereign energy,
do you work with trauma? And
it's all trauma informed.
And
a lot of it is based off my life experiences too. So the Courage Code is a 15 module course that I've built based off everything, well, most things. There's some things I haven't put in there, but I go into the mechanics of the brain and fight, flight, fawn, freeze. Like, I go into all the chakra points, not just the 7, and how they're connected to sacred geometry, and the emotional spiral and the emotional wheel. Like, that's all just in the first part of it. And I go into domestic violence and abuse in my module 9. Like, I go into using discernment, and like, there's so much in there. I've even got like a home apothecary and body wisdom section, like emotional intelligence, teaching people because emotional intelligence is something that gets so overlooked, but it's so crucial to humanity.
For those of you who are watching, could you define it as?
it's so big and large, but it's literally understanding your emotions and how we can work with them from a grounded place. It's so big. I don't even know.
Yeah, for me, I suppose emotional
how to
intelligence.
explain it, like, because I'm so overloaded of information with it. I'm like, where do you start with that?
So I suppose for those listening, emotional intelligence for me is the understanding of if you were to have someone react poorly to you, and then you get triggered by that, it's like it's understanding or having the awareness that you're being triggered in that moment and not reacting.
Yes.
Responding.
Respond over react. Yep. That's a beautiful way of putting it. I was like, there could have been so many avenues for that, but that's such a good way of explaining when you're with somebody how you can come back to yourself. And that's essentially what I've taught through Reiki as well, is in each moment holding yourself, grounding yourself, even just saying, hey, I need to just have a moment. I'll come back and talk to you in a second, and go and take 3 deep breaths before you return talking to somebody, so you can ground yourself and hold yourself differently. Like, that is a part of emotional intelligence. It's like being aware that you can hold yourself without expecting that other person to hold you in each moment.
So do you see Reiki working with the biofield, and how does it work in the biofield if it does? So can you elaborate on that?
I believe that Reiki is the biofield. It is the energetic body of ourselves. And when I teach Reiki or the sovereign energetics, it's all about feeling. You can feel into it. Like, even people can do it now. You can actually feel a magnetic bounce in the air outside of your body, but it's also within us too.
Would you be comfortable in like guiding you and I right now?
Yeah.
For those that are out there that might be sitting down on how to potentially just feel into that?
Ooh, yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So you just close down your eyes, take some deep breaths, breathing in through your belly, bringing it up into your chest, and breathing out through your mouth or your nose. And just feeling your body settling into the space. And just so we've got awareness of the biofield, you can see, feel, or just know that your whole body is glowing with a beautiful warm light. And this light is unconditional love, compassion, and clarity. This light is your biofield. It is your soul light. It is the essence of you. And this light is what cuts through any darkness. So if you're feeling like you're in a hard situation, or feeling sad, or stuck in the void, this light is what will help get you out of it and help you cut through that darkness. This light grounds you to the earth and connects you to yourself. And when you're ready, take your time. You can grab your hands and just slowly bring them in front of your body, like I was doing before, and just feel into the energy or the air around you. And you can feel a bit of like an energetic bounce, like a magnetic bounce, usually about 30 centimeters away from your body. That is like a strong part of your biofield, and it essentially is cocooned through you and around you.
So personally, like, I feel like little tingles.
Yeah.
In my
you can get heat, cool,
hand sensations. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to like play around with really feeling into it.
Yeah.
And I get these like little hand tingles. So I don't know if that resonates with anyone else out there.
And just feeling into it that way. And then you can place your hands on your body, and it's all about the power of intent. So when our intention is to clear or cleanse our bodies as we hold it, a lot of people like putting one hand on their heart, one on their hara or energy center, which is just below the belly button, and taking deep breaths and just feeling your body drop into that. That's connecting to ourselves, connecting to our biofield, and offering love and compassion to ourselves. And you can go into a silent meditation with this too and just sit with it. And when I say silent meditation, it's the tuning out of the exterior sounds, but also it's all about, if you get those thoughts, oh, I need to go to the supermarket or whatever, like, let them come. Let those things come, acknowledge them, and then just say, okay, I release them. And then bring yourself back within and try and think of nothingness.
Yeah, and what we resist persists. So the more you try to push away the thoughts, the more they try to come. Yeah,
that's why acknowledgement is really important. To acknowledge and know that those things are there popping up, but also to allow yourself to let go and release.
So,
sorry. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
On that, what we were just doing. So with Reiki, obviously when I went and got the Reiki done, so she was sitting and she would put her hands on me. So what is she doing in that time? Like, what does she work?
To come and learn Reiki.
Yeah, I know. But that's what this is why I'm asking, because I'm actually someone that wants to know. What are you doing with that in that time?
That is like a 2 days worth of information. But what essentially we're doing is we're working with the power of intent within our minds as we place our hands on somebody else. There's so many other things at play with it, but the core of it is the power of intention. And that's why I teach Dr. Emoto's water studies in my courses, so people can understand how intention is one of the most core things for us to
You're talking about how molecules change under intention. So when you speak to the water, it can change formation. Okay.
Yeah. So you know the story of Dr. Emoto and his studies. Yeah. So do you want me to share that?
You can share that. Yeah. Some people wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah. Well, I run a workshop called The Water Within and go into this a bit more. But as a gist of it, it is all about Dr. Emoto studied water, and with a petri dish, he would say positive intentions. I'll start with the negative intentions, actually. He would say negative intentions, freeze them, and then under a microscope, it looks like murky pond water. And then with positive intentions, it looks like snowflakes. So it sounds fluffy, but it's science and it's been proven. And people can do this by cutting an apple in half, putting it in 2 separate airtight containers, and for a couple of weeks you talk smack to one and you talk beautiful loving words.
Such a technical term.
Smack. And then you talk positive intentions to the other one, and everyone that I know that's done this, the negative intent, the smack one,
turns into smack.
It turns into mush. Like it's moldy, it's gross, and the positive intent one actually has just browned a little bit.
I'm gonna
and
do
still
this.
hard.
This is gonna happen.
Do it. Can you do it? Yeah.
And there's a rice one.
There's a rice one too. Yeah. What are we mainly made up of?
Yeah, water.
So it's not about being positive all the time.
No.
We need to be in our murky pond water states too. That's the balance of the light and the dark. But working with Reiki is working with the universal light. This is where it becomes the lifestyle, is bringing in positive intentions to support us, not to bypass or to mask how we're feeling, but to help pull us out of the void. And those positive intentions is what manifests life. Yeah.
You know what I find difficult about all of this is I'm just sitting and reflecting, is that because we've been so I suppose indoctrinated to believe like science. The bit that you and I are both speaking about, we can use sort of scientific experiments like the water, like the apple, like the rice, to sort of to show cause and effect. But we know in science and maths we get taught that correlation doesn't mean causation. So you and I could do this many, many times and get the same results. But again, a scientist will argue that correlation doesn't mean causation, which then begs to differ, okay, how do we prove it? Now, subtle frequencies like this, which is subtle energies that move through us, which I talk about, that if we're all made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of 99 pretty much % space, we have subtle frequencies moving through us all the time, communicating with us, changing our potentially genetic makeup, causing cancers, etc., etc. It's that because we can't prove it, the people out here aren't willing to listen to it. And it sounds so crazy that it's like, you know, send gratitude and thankful messages to your water and drink it, and then it'll, you know, change the formation of your water. People are like, what? And how does that affect our body? Well, here's the thing. Again, scientifically we can prove parts, but we can't prove the whole, and there has to come to a part where we just trust. Just like when we pass, it's like, where do we go?
The trust is what becomes the whole.
So I wanted to make point of that, because I find it really interesting that half of the battle here is the indoctrination.
Exactly.
And I suppose what you're doing, what I'm doing, trying to bridge the gap between science and spirituality.
Exactly.
And allow people to then lean into these practices a little bit more, because even myself, I became skeptical of Reiki. Because I didn't know what energy are we tapping into?
Is it dark energy? People are like, oh, is this evil? And I'm like,
I've heard so much about that.
If your intention is love and I like to say love without condition. I think unconditional love has actually lost its essence by saying it that way, unfortunately. But love without condition, if you're in that essence and you're offering, and we say offer Reiki because you can't give it, because it is energy. Like, we've already got it. So we're offering healing. We're offering healing to ourselves and others. And if that intention is that powerful, that you're wanting to support somebody, then so be it. Like, for example, I was bedridden with a sore back for quite some time a few years ago, and my partner at the time, I taught him how to offer Reiki, and he was doing it because he wanted, you know, me to get better and didn't want me to be sore and in pain. But I was trying to sleep. We were in bed trying to sleep. And I could feel him doing it because I was facing away. And I was like, are you offering me Reiki right now? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, please don't, because I know you're doing it because you need help around the house. You need me to not be bedridden with a sore back. You're not doing it from the right intention. And I know it is because you want me to get better too, but I can feel your intention as you offer it to me. So if you're wanting someone to get better and you're wanting to heal someone, you can't fix anybody. It's not about fixing. It's about supporting, guiding, offering love without condition. It's not about you. It's about them when you're offering it. So I feel like it's really important for people to know when you are, it's not just with offering Reiki, it's with everything in life. Like, you can't put your intention on somebody. We have such high expectations of people, but that's within us. Okay, this is going to be a hard question because this has just come into my head as I'm asking this. So, with the intent part, you know, Reiki, you know, could there be people out there offering Reiki going, oh, how do I make money from working with energy? And then their intent is to use Reiki, and because you can't really see what someone's doing, like, there'll be people out there that are like, I've got a Reiki one, and then put you on a table and I'm using my hands, and because my other part to this was, when we are relaxed, our parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which allows us to heal anyway from the inside. So I'm guessing that would be a component of it anyway, but it's like, what I guess when people come to, I like to say Reiki practitioner, not a Reiki healer, because we're not there to heal people. We're there to be the practitioner and hold space for the person. And essentially, we're just pushing the buttons on the person's body for their own energy to do the work. So we're not actually physically making the energy move. Well, we are by pushing the buttons, but it's actually the person's body. So if someone's closed off and comes for a session, they're not going to really feel much because they're closed off, because you're shutting your energy off. So there's no point having it. I personally, Reiki 1, level 1 is first and foremost for yourself, friends and family. Reiki 2, you can go off and offer it as a business. And we teach that in Reiki 2 as well, on how you can run it as a business with integrity. I have said no to giving people certificates because I don't want my name, this is my integrity, I don't want my name on some people's certificates because I can feel their ego. I can feel that that they're just wanting the certificate to be able to use it for money. So I intuitively say, I'm happy to work with you longer, but not in the time frame that we've done this level. If you want to work with me more closely, I can help you and support you to moving through that ego-based mentality. There's even been a couple of guys that have come to me wanting to learn Reiki, and they were just wanting to heal women, and I'm like, it's not your job. And because of I can feel their intention, and it's the ego-based intention. So I'll say to them, why don't you work with men? Men need it too, you know. And there's lots of women that are wanting just to hold space for women and children because they've had uncomfortable situations with men. So I'm like, more men actually need that support too. Why are you so fixated on, this is a whole nother different topic, but why are you so fixated on just healing women? And that becomes like a God complex from them. And I've felt that. So I've actually said no to I've let them do level 1 because that's coming back to yourself. Level 2 is about yourself too, but it's also you're able to then work on others. And I don't like giving out certificates when I feel that ego.
So a few more things are coming in now. So what makes a good Reiki practitioner if someone's looking for someone? And what are the usual transformations that people feel or notice after coming out?
So usually after a session, most people feel a bit lighter but grounded. So they're the core feelings. Some people get visions come through, and then so they've got signs. Some, but not everybody. Just a stronger sense of self. I like my clients to leave feeling, and my students to leave feeling empowered would be the main word. And if people aren't feeling that, to feel empowered to step forth into themselves, then I always do a check-in a day or two after. And if they haven't felt empowered, that's okay. I'm like, we can do an intuitive guidance session or whatever that is to help them and support them if they want it or need it. But yeah, I feel like it's really important that people feel empowered leaving a session, grounded, a bit more refreshed. Some people though, like the session can, if they've got something really blocked, they can feel really shit. Like you can feel like things are regurgitating up that you've been pushing down. So that's okay too. Yeah. And that's important for people to know as well, because people go to these sessions feeling like, I'm going to just go relax and but if they're burying things, is that a word? Burying. Then they're going to essentially toss up the dirt, bring it all up. If you've had your head in the sand and you have a session, that is a possibility, and that's okay, and it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I've had sessions where I'm just releasing, like crying.
Yeah, and that's okay. I think that's really beautiful. Sometimes I feel like if I haven't made someone cry, I haven't done my job.
Because they need,
because they're having that release. Crying is a release. Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand where Reiki fits into the healing of the energetic body, because I didn't realize that it's coming just not simply from the intent of the person, and then working with the energy field of the person, and then it's so not quantifiable, and that's the bit I think that a majority of people would have so much trouble with. Yeah. And then I hear people going, oh, you should go see them, they're a really good Reiki healer. I'm like, well, what makes them? What makes them good? Yeah. And I'm guessing from what you're saying now is that if people are coming out and they're feeling like they've had a release or they are feeling more grounded, and I suppose people would see online when someone's having a Reiki session, hands moving and all that. What is that? Is that you actually manipulating the energetic field? Like what we said before, we could feel like the barrier.
Yeah, it's like the pushing of the buttons to support their body to move.
So you're feeling like subtle frequencies.
You
of
feel
where they're
that
like
heat, cool, tingling sensations in your hands, and you just intuitively know where to move. Mm-hmm. It's based on intuition and intent is the main things, which is hard to explain that in scientific terms. That's why I talk about the water studies, and I go a little bit into because people talk sometimes about chakras in the Reiki courses, but I don't do that because it actually people thought that chakras were Reiki, but chakras are Indian, Reiki is Japanese. And so I added something different, the meridian system, and I speak
about... Is that the Chinese medicine?
That's Chinese. So I speak about how the energy flows up your yin and down your yang, and it involves your organs, so it makes it a bit more body-based rather than energetic-based for people to get their head around.
True, that is helpful because the chakra system is, again...
energetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like
tangible. Yeah. So that's why I work with the meridian system, because a lot of people understand acupuncture because they go to an acupuncturist. They know that they might prick their toe for their lung, or do you know what I mean?
Totally. I've had acupuncture many times. I love it.
Yeah. So
and again,
it helps.
We're looking at Chinese, Japanese, Indian, all parts of the whole pointing to the same thing,
exactly,
all wanting to heal.
Right.
So sovereign energetics is kind of bringing a lot of it all together.
And sovereign energetics is also bringing in what I learned through corporate and the projection that people put on people in corporate, the dog eat dog mentality. So sovereign energetics is literally like, I want to go in and teach corporates to be more heart-led than fear-based, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it would be good to have something like that in a corporate space.
Yeah.
Like there's so much though. Schools need stuff like that to bring kids back to self.
I want to do it for schools. I've contacted schools. I've contacted so many businesses, but people just can't wrap their head around it because it's something new.
You need to go in there and be like, this is the neuroscience and this is the spiritual.
Well, we can do it together. But I'm not even doing it from a spiritual side. I'm actually doing it from a scientific side. So that's where I'm like, but they can't wrap their head around that still. And I think because if they know me and know of me the last 18 years, they know me as the Reiki teacher.
So do you think that that's casting?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time.
So you need like
I'm like my dad. I've always had my foot in corporate life and well-being, I like to call it.
But you know what's funny? This is why I find really interesting about my path. If I hadn't done the neuroscience degree, I don't know if people would listen to me.
Yeah,
and it becomes this, again, indoctrination of people having to have these degrees beside their name, which is really just like a big government ploy to get money.
Yeah.
But
I've done other courses.
It's hard.
Like I've learnt herbalism, which is actually quite a science too.
Massive. That's just part of the Chinese medicine stuff too.
Yeah. And I've also learnt, I'm a menstrual cycle practitioner. So, and other things. But like there's science all through that.
Yeah.
It's working with the body, the physical body. Yeah.
But again, if people don't, it's so hard to just take that stigma away.
Yeah.
So.
But that's why we're here doing this.
Exactly.
That's why you're doing this podcast. That's why I'm doing Sovereign Energetics, because we're here to shift. We're here to make that shift. And I feel like in the Pisces age, as we're moving into that, which we are right now, Pisces, the Aquarian age, out of Pisces age, I feel, because do you know much about the ages?
We're in the Aquarian.
So so we're coming out of the Pisces and we're going into the Aquarian age, and that's been happening for the last 100 years. Or no, yeah, probably about that. But like 100 BC is when the Pisces age kicked in.
Oh, okay.
And so there's no distinct date. It's just like this crossover. But I think between around 2030 to 2070, we'll be fully properly getting into the Aquarian age. So we're at this real
which is absorbing
crossover time now of war and religion and believing in something outside of ourselves.
The old
system, which is Pisces. So if you look at one of the symbols of the church, it's a fish. And they say it's the fisherman. But I grew up as a Catholic, not so much anymore. But, you know, there's good values in everything.
Oh, 100%.
This is the thing with the light and the dark. There's light and dark with every single thing. And yeah, if we're looking at the Pisces age, we needed to go through this as a collective, but we're done with it now. We're moving into this.
I'm going to do an episode on dimensional consciousness. And one of the dimensions of consciousness is the seventh dimension. And in the seventh dimension, there is no light and dark. There is just all.
And that's what we're moving towards.
And I like that understanding because it allows me to look back on the darkness that I've experienced and see how if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am today, and have gratitude for it constantly.
I love that you've said this because we've been talking about Reiki, and Reiki is about oneness. And that's what we're moving into. It's about understanding. We have to understand the light and the dark first to then be in oneness. Yeah.
Totally. Makes sense.
And that's the same with feminine and masculine. It's the same as the battery, the positive and the negative.
Again, I feel like people hear those words too, and it's like, switch off.
Yeah, literally.
So where can everyone find the Courage Code, the guided?
So everything's on my website, sovereignEnergetics.com.
SovereignEnergetics.com.
It is, I have a big landing page for guided, a big landing page for the Courage Code. They're my two main things that I'm really working on at the minute, but I'm still doing wellbeing workshops for corporate, schools, communities, and the workshops are essentially like an entry point into understanding what's actually in the Courage Code and in guided as well. So guided is actually a chunk of the Courage Code.
Yeah, right. That you're working
but I'm holding space for it over 7 weeks, like an intensive. So I'm there as a support, whereas you can go on the Courage Code and start that at any time and just do it in your own time. I've been creating that for 3 years, and it's 18 years of my work into one, like 15 modules. It's a lot. So I explain deeply into taking your time with it. It's your own journey. You can start at module 1, but then move on to module 5 if you're more feel more resonant with that. And I've got recorded meditations and breath work and stuff like that on there too to do. And they've got practices and journal prompts and everything with each module. So it's pretty jam-packed. And I think that's something that scares people as well, is that if they're going to do this, it's a self-help I call it a transmission. It's not just a course, it's a transmission. And I feel like people have to face themselves when they start it. Work. So people can get scared to do it, but once you do it and once you learn more about yourself throughout it, you'll live a more aligned and better life. And that's what people are scared of too.
Yeah, totally.
I've been there.
Me too.
Still there a little bit.
I dabble in there. 1 foot goes there every now and then. I pull it out.
Yeah.
And Instagram, Facebook, like what are all your tags?
My mothership is Laura of the Light on Instagram. At Laura.of.the.light. My Sovereign Energetics is at sovereign.energetics. And yeah, they're the main things I use. Really. I've got a YouTube channel that I've recorded some of my blog posts. So if you go on my website, you'll see a lot of my blogs where I speak my truth, which is probably a bit controversial for some people, but that's okay. I love it.
Truth is truth.
I recently actually did a 7-day manifestation thing, and it came out that my superpower is the truth alchemist. So I'm living more in line with the truth alchemist, and I'm more in my power to express myself now, and because I've had to shrink my whole life, I have felt, because I feel like I can have such a big energy that I've had to shrink myself to fit in other people's boxes, but I'm not doing that anymore. Like, fuck that.
No one wants to live in a box.
Sorry, I just swore.
That's okay. I've sworn on other episodes. It's totally fine. I also just wanted to say, and then some takeaways. One is, I suppose, for people to use Reiki with themselves, and you don't have to go and necessarily learn it, it's just more becoming attuned with your biofield, like the subtle frequencies, the subtle energies around you. And then if you hold intent in the mind to heal, like even pain, or is this what I'm gathering? Yeah. And then, okay, if you're looking for a Reiki practitioner, what are some red flags, like, that it's hard, are there? Because how do you pick one?
Well, it's hard because I believe every practitioner has a good intention, because you wouldn't do it otherwise. Okay. But some people are in scarcity, so they're wanting to do it for money, you know. But at the end of the day, we all need to make a living somehow.
Of course.
So that's where the balance comes in. But just trust your own intuition on how you feel about a person. So when I was looking for my first Reiki teacher, I've had 2 Reiki teachers. There wasn't many Reiki teachers around back then. But I felt into different ones that I was Google searching, and I just was like led to go to one. But that one led me to my second one, and that was where I needed to be. And I don't think I could have gotten to that avenue without going to that first one.
Yeah.
And this is what I say to my students too: learn from other teachers. Like, we all teach differently. So what I've taught is 6th from the founder, which is pretty close. But we also talk about primordial lineage, which is making it your own as well. Yeah. So I've made it my own. I've added more science than what other teachers would have added in, because I believe teaching the science of it is important, because it is a science.
Yes.
So, but other teachers might teach it a bit more spiritually. So, I do believe that it's important that we learn from different people.
So do your research, feel into it,
and
see how it goes.
Yep, trust your gut. Well, that's my main thing.
Trust the gut.
If you don't know how to trust it, learn to.
Yeah, feel in.
Yeah.
I am so grateful that you came.
Thanks for having
on my
me.
Little potty.
It's not so little.
I always put a song on at the end. It's not little. And do you know what?
Manifest that.
On my giant podcast.
Your huge podcast.
Millions of followers.
Nah. It is.
It is, sorry. No response after that. Breathe. I'm going to put a song on at the end of the episode. I'm going to put on Skinny Feels, because I haven't put Skinny Feels on yet. And I actually released this song, and I went into an ice bath with Laura and I sang it. So it was like a big moment. So I'll put that one on the end of this episode.
Cried.
Please, if you like the episode, please share it, send it around, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, follow me if you're on Spotify, Instagram, hazelray_frequencies, and I shall see you next time. Remember, the world does need saving, people do, and if we give the people the tools to save themselves, we save the world.
Literally. Bye. I love that so much. Bye.
Staring in the mirror, I thought I knew her, but I don't. There's pain in her eyes, a fire in her soul. She's alone. Those words, they cut her like a knife, so deep that one day she'll fear for her life. She feels the judgment, but it's not just her own. She's alone. That demon is so strong. It whispers, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. Nothing hurts as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. to that evil voice within. It'll tear her from the one she loves, rip their heart in two. They'll fear that she's dying, but it'll tell her it's not true. That demon is so strong, it's screaming. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. Nothing hurts as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. So she'll keep on listening. Her self-worth depends on it. Inside her, inside of you is the truth and strength to fight. The road is long, I ain't gonna lie, but it's the only way to survive. Let it die, let it die. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. Nothing hurts as good as skinny feels, as skinny feels. The mirror is lying. Listen, your soul scream. It's time to say